Hey everyone, this is Amani. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're one of the very few people who have subscribed to me already, I just want to say thank you and sorry. Thank you for being here and sticking by someone that you barely know, but sorry for not being as active. I was really going through it. A bunch of things happened in the past month or so. I was having a lot of issues with my current job, and I was not in the best headspace mentally. Second, that I was also traveling. I was traveling to Portugal and Paris, like a couple of cities in Portugal and then Paris. Both the places I had not visited before, and I loved Portugal. Personally, it came in the top 5 of the places that I've been to. So soon I will also be releasing a video about the things to do and things that I did in the cities that I had a chance to visit. Paris was really fun too, but I was only there for like 2 days, so I don't have much to share. But I was in Portugal for a good 5-6 days, so I have a bunch of things I can let you guys know. And thirdly, my friend got married. She's a very close friend of mine. Her name is Rhea. I make content with her on this Instagram page called Working with Coffee. The wedding was in Jaipur and I put up in Delhi, so it was like a 4 to 5 hour up and down from my city. So it was just like a really hectic month, and I'm so sorry, and I feel guilty towards myself and I feel responsible towards myself to not devote time to YouTube, because it's something that, even though I have like a really small audience, I've just really enjoyed putting myself out there and yapping on camera, and I hate that I was not able to do that more often. I hope New Year brings that side of me where I take out more time to do this, because I really enjoy doing this. So hello, thank you for being here again. And in case you're not subscribed, I would love for you to just hit the subscribe button. It takes 1 second, but it'll mean the world to me. Let's get started. Today I want to talk about a show, and today I want to give you like a show recommendation. If you are someone who loves music, especially rock music, like really 80s, 90s vibe, all your Pink Floyd, AC/DC, etc., then this is actually a show that you should not miss, because each episode of this show is a musical masterpiece. It's insane. Like, my heart was just so happy watching each episode, to be honest. This show is on Prime, so ensure that you are subscribed to Prime. It's called Daisy Jones and the Six, and it's based on a novel by one of my favorite authors ever called Taylor Jenkins Reid. Again, I've made another video about a book that she has written called 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and she also wrote a book that this show is based on, which is Daisy Jones and the Six. It's a limited series, which is what actually made me watch, because of late my attention span has been very bad. So this kind of was a refresher for me. I was only watching like comedy stuff of late, because I don't know, I think I rewatch a lot of sitcoms, and then I watched this other show on Netflix called Hacks. Also good recommendation, by the way, in case you want to watch. But this is, after a very long time, I went back to a larger, like a 40-50 minute episode kind of show in a more tense and dramatic setting. But I do not regret one bit. I devoured that show in like 3 to 4 days, and it was just the best. I would go to the extent and say that this was the best show that I have watched this year, which is why I want to recommend it to you. So if you have a weekend to spare and you love music, you should not miss out on it. So what's the plot like? So of course it's based on a band called Daisy Jones and the Six, but the story is about how Daisy Jones and the Six kind of came together. So when the story is being recorded, it's actually ages after the band has already disbanded. Like, they do not make music together anymore. But years later, they're actually giving an interview and they're narrating what the past story was and how they came together and why they disbanded in the first place. Right? So it's like a past reflection, and then the reflection of how the current life is like. The story kind of starts from the very beginning of Daisy Jones, whose actually real name is not Daisy Jones. It's an identity that she later on adopted. But she was actually born in a very wealthy family in Hollywood. But the family was just very obsessed with their social status, and Daisy was of course always driven towards arts and music especially, but the family was never quite supportive, which is why Daisy kind of went out of her way to go to the clubs to try to perform there. Heads up, there's a lot of substance abuse involved in the show, with respect to both Daisy and the members of the Six, which is the separate band. And there's just a lot of substance abuse and rehab episodes, etc. So if that's something that is a trigger for you, I would recommend you kind of skip on that show. But if it's not a trigger for you, then it's very interesting to see the character arcs for a lot of people, especially the ones who were involved in substance abuse, to go from a very bad mental state to a successful career but bad mental state to a stable career and a stable mental state. I think these three were very important plot points for most protagonists in the show. So yeah, Daisy was born in Hollywood, and then she was of course never accepted. So Daisy, through her career of being a waiter and being just part of clubs, etc., met this producer, and he was the one responsible for this matchmaking, because he let Daisy Jones met the Six, which is the four boys in the band, and he was the one who was responsible for letting them go and do their first song ever together. This is Daisy's story, and she was just going through an arc parallelly until she met the producer. And then in parallel we see the story of the Six. The Six was actually not called the Six initially. They were called the Dunn brothers because they were founded by two brothers, Graham and Billy Dunn. Billy and Daisy are the protagonists of the show. Billy kind of is the lead singer of the Six, and Daisy of course is an outsider who ends up joining the Six. So how did the Six name come into the picture? They were initially called the Dunn brothers, and then two more friends of theirs joined, and then they ended up hiring a keyboardist who was actually Suki Waterhouse, in case you've followed her music. I love Suki Waterhouse, and she was an actor and a part of the Six band in this case. She was called Karen. It makes the five, and then Billy was dating a Latina who was actually very hot and very pretty and very intelligent, like a great actor overall, whose name was Camila. So Camila was of course like a cheerleader for all of them, and she had seen the band form, etc. So all of them together became the Six. So I'll not reveal the entire plot, but I'll tell you important things that you should look out for throughout the story. Number one, so the name of the producer is Teddy, and the way that Teddy made Daisy meet the Six is actually a very interesting story arc, and how it all kind of came together for their first song. It's lovely, and that's an important aspect to not miss out on. And then the relationship between Camila and Billy, it's very important to the story, but it's very dramatic. It goes through an immense number of ups and downs. The way that Camila had stuck through Billy is insane, because he was like a red flag in a lot of places. Third, the chemistry between Daisy and Billy, because Daisy was the outsider who was also the lead singer now, and then Billy, who has been the lead singer always. So they initially have like a cat and dog chemistry where they're always behind each other, but then they end up of course having a cute love arc, which was not cute for a lot of people. So how that kind of transitioned and what happens towards the end is amazing. And lastly, what you should look out for is the climax, because it blew my mind. It blew my absolute mind. I would not have seen this coming. I thought that this was just another show with a sad ending. Sorry, my dog is crying in the background. I will be back. I'm so sorry for that break. My dog Bella was crying in the background. But I wanted to just finish this off and say that you should also look out for the climax, because how the story ended is incredible. It is only something that an author could do. An author like Taylor Jenkins Reid could do. It's a reason why I love her work, because the way that she plots the story, but how the climax is always something that you do not see coming, is just something else altogether. I've recommended that show while I was watching the show, and that's something that I don't usually do because I want the show to finish. But I do not regret recommending it, even to a tiny degree. In case you are like me and you don't want to invest time in a show that you might not like, I'll do you a favor. I will recommend some songs from the album of that show, and I would just love for you to take out 10 minutes and listen to those songs. If you like those songs, I am sure you will love the show. The name of their album in the show also, and on Apple Music, Spotify, etc. also, is called Aurora. And the song that I loved the most, the song that was actually the most famous of Billy and Daisy, was this song called Look at Us Now, and bracket mein Honeycomb, because it was called Honeycomb previously, and then Daisy came and he wrote all of the lyrics, etc. So Look at Us Now is something you should not miss out on. And secondly, you should not miss out on the song called Let Me Down Easy. So Look at Us Now and Let Me Down Easy from the album Aurora, my top 2 songs that you should definitely listen. Actually, if you listen to the entire album, songs like Regret Me, More Fun to Miss, etc. are also great songs. But why I'm not recommending is because they feel like a conversation between Billy and Daisy, and you'll get some idea about the chemistry already, which I don't want to give away. So listen to Look at Us Now and Let Me Down Easy and tell me how you find it. Awesome, that's it for this video. I'm actually really looking forward to also now read the book, now that I've watched the show and I've loved the show. Maybe I'll love the book also because I love the author already. But if you have some time to spare, do not miss out on the show. I'm sure that you love it. In case you end up watching it, you can just let me know on my Instagram. I will link again the profile below. I create a bunch of content, I write a newsletter, I run a couple of communities, I have 2 Instagram accounts that I also create content on. So I'll link everything in the description. You can go through each of them, and whatever you feel like you like the most are things that you can actually subscribe to. But especially, I run a community called Sushi Box. So if you're someone who likes recommendations, who likes to give and take recommendations, it's just a community for that especially. So I'll of course link the WhatsApp group chat below. Go through all of that, let me know what you think, watch the show, let me know what you think. I'm 99.9% sure you love it, but just in case you don't, let me know that also so I can refine and curate my recommendations accordingly. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being so patient with me. I love you and I am very grateful to you. Last reminder to hit on the subscribe button and have the best new year ever. Bye bye.